Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Weather Forecast Center. This is John, here to give you the latest on current conditions and what the weather's going to look like for the next 7 days. There is a lot to talk about. Tropics are starting to heat up, and I have a couple of things that I'm keeping an eye on, one in the Atlantic and one in the Gulf of Mexico. So, with all that being said, um, if you like this content, hit the like button. Um, if you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. Also, I have a Patreon that's going at patreon.com/weather forecast center, all one word. The W is capitalized, the F is capitalized, and the C is capitalized. Weather Forecast Center. Um, there, I will start making posts so that everyone can join in. If you'd like to become a member, it's a uh, you can do so in the Patreon. And with that, we will get started. So this is as of the 8 o'clock. Um, this is showing at 8 o'clock. Let me see. So I will start this at 3Z, which is 11 o'clock tonight, since the time of this video is 10:03 Eastern. Um, do have some rain here in northern New England. We have a departing low that caused the showers this morning in the Carolinas. We still have some scattered showers and thunderstorms here in Florida. There is some disturbed weather here in the Gulf of Mexico, which I will highlight in a little bit. We have some showers, possibly a rumble of thunder there in Colorado, and we have some showers and thunderstorms in California and Nevada, and some sprinkles or showers here in north central Oregon through central Washington state. So that is what's going on at the current moment. So I jumped ahead to the excessive rain outlook because the SPC outlook, there is nothing for the next 3 days. So for the excessive rainfall outlook, there's only 5% areas here in Florida, from Florida to the southern coast of South Carolina back into Louisiana. Um, Here in Colorado, New Mexico, and here in California, um, far southern Nevada and Arizona, where there is a 5% risk of flash flood guidance being met. And that goes until basically that starts at 16Z Saturday and goes all the way to 12Z Monday morning. So this is a day 2 outlook for the excessive rain outlook. This is valid from Sunday 12Z to Monday 12Z. Um, 5% chance of flash flood guidance being met from southern South Carolina into Florida. And we have another 5% risk area here in the Four Corners region into Nevada and California. And this is the day 3 excessive rainfall outlook, valid from Monday 12Z to Tuesday 12Z. Primarily a 5% risk of flash flood guidance being met along the Gulf Coast, except for this small area down here in far south Texas, where there is a slight risk, a 15% risk of flash flood guidance being met. And there's a 5% risk of flash flood guidance being met here in the Four Corners region. So here is the current hazards that are out there right now. There is red flag warnings in this hot pink area here for Montana, Idaho, Oregon, California, Nevada, and Utah. Also here in Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, and a county in Colorado. There is a flash flood watch here in central Texas with flash flood warnings to its west. And then we have wind alerts here in Oregon and Washington, and then your heat alerts down here in the desert Southwest and the valleys of California. Excessive heat watches, excessive heat warnings along the California coast, and heat advisories in the Central Valley of California. So now we will go over model guidance and see how the weather will play out for the next 7 days. There we go. So we are going to start this tomorrow morning at 12Z. We have scattered showers and thunderstorms here through Florida, far southern South Carolina, and Georgia, and a smattering of showers, possibly a rumble of thunder here in the Intermountain West. For tomorrow afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms here across Florida, and just scattered showers and thunderstorms here, dotting the Rockies and the Intermountain West tomorrow afternoon. So this is 12Z Monday morning. Still scattered showers and thunderstorms here into Florida. Let me see if I can get this to, no, I gotta do it this way. I'm gonna move this down a little bit so you can see. As something might be developing down here in the Gulf of Mexico, starting this period. So this is where, oh God, this is where your low is going to be situated, be down there along the Mexico coast. And see if I can do that better. Let's try this. There we go. So that's your low that's developing in the Gulf of Mexico Monday morning. Otherwise, just scattered showers and thunderstorms there into Florida Monday morning. So you saw me just step through that. So now this is now Monday, Monday evening. Showers and thunderstorms here in the Four Corners region. Um, Scattered showers, possibly a rumble of thunder here into the interior northeast. And then you got showers and thunderstorms in South Florida and in northern Florida along the Gulf Coast down into South Texas. This is going to be the area I'm going to watch for when this low develops. So this is Tuesday morning. Now you have a 1001 millibar low pressure here off the Gulf of Mexico. It could be Francene at this point. We won't know until further observations warrant it. Other than that, scattered showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast into Florida in the morning. Then you have scattered showers, possibly rumble thunder here into the Dakotas, and maybe a couple of showers here into Utah. At this point, this will be Francine. It will be a strong tropical storm down here along the Mexico coast, 998 millibar low there, um, sending rain bands up into the Gulf Coast of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So rain and thunderstorms for those areas with the outer bands of either tropical storm or hurricane Francine at this point. We have scattered showers and thunderstorms here in Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming into far eastern Idaho, and scattered showers and thunderstorms in inland Florida. This is Wednesday morning at 12Z. More than likely, this will be a tropical storm, slowly moving to the north. Now it'll be situated east of Brownsville, Texas, with the rain bands continuing to come into the Gulf Coast of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. Obviously, scattered showers and thunderstorms in Florida and southeast Georgia. Then you have probably a couple showers here in Oregon and Washington, and some here in Montana. But at this point, the main show will be down here in the Gulf Coast with possibly Francine, if not the G name. That depends on what is going on in the Atlantic, which I will show you in the next couple of key notes that I have. Northeast is under the influence of high pressure here, and that is it for the Wednesday at 12Z. So for Wednesday evening, um, 992 millibar tropical storm, maybe a hurricane at this point, continuing to bring rain bands to the Gulf Coast states from Florida to East Texas. Rain showers, thunderstorms. Um, in those regions. Excuse me. The tornado threat will increase to to maybe this area in here. So much of Louisiana going into Mississippi will start to see the possible threat of tornadoes with the outer bands rotating in off the Gulf of Mexico. Scattered showers and thunderstorms here from California, Oregon into the Intermountain West, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, um, into parts of the plains, Nebraska, South Dakota. But the main player will be possibly Francene down here in the Gulf of Mexico. So this is Thursday morning. Um, you have a 990 millibar tropical storm or hurricane making landfall into Louisiana at this time. The box area that is to its north and east, that will be where the tornado threat will be, which will be far western Georgia through much of Alabama and Mississippi. Went from those rain bands that are coming off the Gulf of Mexico into those regions. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, northern Florida and Georgia, and possibly far southern South Carolina, and scattered showers here in Montana, Idaho, Washington State, Oregon, Nevada, and Utah. Thursday evening, the storm has now moved inland from Louisiana. So this region here will be under the gun for a tornado threat. That includes much of Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and northern Georgia now, with rain bands continuing to spiral around the weakening storm Francene. It could be scattered showers and thunderstorms here in southern Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. And we got showers and thunderstorms here in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, as well as northern Utah and far northwestern Colorado. For Friday morning, your storm continues to move more inland. Your area would be something like this. So much of Tennessee, the very northern ports of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and now South Carolina will get into the act of the tornado threat, especially and Kentucky as well. Otherwise, scattered showers and thunderstorms, South Carolina to Florida. Florida panhandles continue to get the rain bands from the tropical storm that made landfall. Showers and thunderstorms here in Montana and Idaho with a little hint of snow right here in far northwestern Wyoming. As of Friday evening, the low that was from tropical storm or hurricane Francene would be here. Your area will be something like this. So Tennessee and Kentucky will be under the gun for possible tornado activity. Besides that, scattered showers and thunderstorms in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Possibly some showers and thunderstorms in along the North Carolina, South Carolina border. Some showers, maybe a rumble thunder here in Montana. And then we have a developing cold front situation here in the Dakotas. So showers and thunderstorms here. A 995 low pressure system. That's pretty strong. From so scattered showers, thunderstorms from Kansas, Nebraska into South Dakota. And these are not in my notes. So by next Saturday morning, the low pressure has pretty much faded away. So just run of the mill showers and thunderstorms, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois, parts of Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia. Again, some scattered showers and thunderstorms here in Panhandle, Florida, and over here in Peninsula. Showers and possibly a rumble thunder here in the Dakotas into Nebraska and Kansas with a cold front, probably drape something like that. That's going to be coming through the plains. So I continue this to Saturday 18Z. That is 2 p.m. Next Saturday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms developing in the plains from South Dakota down into Kansas with a cold front situation cutting through the plains. Then we have basically showers, thunderstorms developing here with the leftover moisture of Francene from Wisconsin all the way down into Florida. Includes Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. So that is the model guidance for the next week ahead. So now we will take a look at the temperatures, and I'm only going to be looking at low temperatures for each day, starting with Sunday morning. 40s and 50s here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, 60s and 70s in the Southeast, um, 40s, a few 50s here in the Great Lakes and Midwest, 50s and 60s, primarily in the plains, some 40s, but 50s in the Rockies, 60s, 70s, and 80s from the northwest into the desert southwest. So these are your lows for Monday morning. 40s and 50s here in the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. 60s in the Southeast. Primarily, it's going to be 70s along the Gulf Coast. 40s and 50s once again in the Great Lakes and Midwest. In the plains, 50s and 60s. Higher elevations, 40s, but primarily 50s and 60s in the Rockies, 50s and 60s in the Northwest, 70s and 80s in the desert Southwest. Your Tuesday morning lows. 40s and 50s, Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, 60s and 70s here in the Southeast, 50s and 60s here in the Great Lakes and the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, 50s and 60s through most of the plains, 60s and 70s in the Mid-South, 40s and 50s with a few 60s in the Rockies, 40s and 50s here in the Northwest, and 70s and 80s down here in the desert Southwest. These are your low temperatures for Wednesday morning. 50s and 60s, Northeast Mid-Atlantic, 70s in Florida, 50s and 60s in the Ohio Valley, Midwest, and also in the plains, 70s along the Gulf Coast with that tropical storm out there. So the Northwest and the Rockies start to cool down. We're going to introduce some 30s in the higher elevations, otherwise 40s and 50s in the Rockies and Northwest, while down here in the desert Southwest continues having lows in the 70s and 80s. These are your low temperatures for Thursday morning. 50s and 60s, Northeast Mid-Atlantic, um, 70s from South Carolina to Florida, 50s and 60s here, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, also here in the plains, and Midwest, 70s along the Gulf Coast. Now we're starting to introduce more deeper blue here in the higher elevations in the Rockies. So now 30s start to show up, primarily 40s and 50s otherwise. 40s and 50s here in the Northwest. Maybe we might be introducing some upper 20s in the higher mountaintops. Otherwise, 30s start to be more widespread in the Rockies, along with 40s and 50s, and then 70s and 80s in the desert Southwest. And your lows for Friday morning, 50s and 60s Northeast Mid-Atlantic, 70s in Florida, 60s and 70s in the Mid-South, um, 50s and 60s here in the Midwest, the Gulf, Great Lakes region. With a developing cold front, you see where the temperatures start to drop off here. 60s in front of the front, 50s behind the front in the plains through this area in here, through the Rockies and the Northwest. Higher elevation 20s, otherwise 30s, 40s, and 50s in the Rockies and Northwest, and in the desert Southwest. Lows are now going to be in the 60s and 70s. So now we are going to talk tropics, starting out in the East Atlantic. We have two waves, a 10-11 low here and a 10-12 low here. Obviously with showers and thunderstorms all in the MDR region. If you don't know where I'm at, this is the coast of Africa out here to your right of your screen. Okay? So let me do this real quick. So those are your two lows. So as we progress, they kind of, not develop much until about here. Now you got a 1008 low here that's getting its act together. You got this down here trying to get its act together, and you just had a wave come off Africa now with a 10-10 millibar low. As we continue this forward, now you start to see some spin now. So this could be a tropical storm now. This may be on its way to one, and then you got this one right here coming off, still coming off of Africa. I think the lead one will have a better shot of becoming a named storm first. So as we continue forward, and we'll stop it here. Now you possibly would have a hurricane right here. You have a possibly a tropical storm there, and you might have one here. So this might take a G name. This may be an H name. And this could be an I name. So you could have three storms out in the East Atlantic. And this is Wednesday at 2 a.m. out in the East Atlantic. As we continue this forward, now you see this starting to drop now. This one's kind of staying a tropical storm, and this one weakens. This just becomes just a thingy out here. So this will be short-lived. This one might have to watch. This one is worrisome to me, and I will show you why in a few moments. Okay, this is Thursday evening. Okay, as we continue this forward, that storm goes off your screen, and now, so for a time, this strengthens down to a 998, which will pretty much be a hurricane. This will be your H name. This will be the remnants of your I name. Throw low here. And then your G name is that going off your screen. So we got some stuff to watch out in the Atlantic now. As we continue this to the end of this week, we'll stop it there. So we take it to the end of the week. We still have a tropical storm here that probably redevelops. This will be your I name storm here. Okay, that'll be your I name storm there. So that's the Eastern Atlantic. So now we are looking at the West Atlantic. Name a few points. This is your Lesser Antilles here. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, Florida coast, Southeast coast. So this low that was responsible for the showers in the Carolinas last night is now offshore and is starting to wind up offshore. This is your tropical wave right now. As we move this forward, okay, CDL coming and going, as you usually do. Okay. So I'll do it this way. So we get to here. This is Wednesday morning, 2 a.m. 998 millibar, possible hurricane, whatever the G name is right there in the middle of the Atlantic. Okay. As we progress forward, you'll see it fluctuate in millibars, but so now we get to the concerning part. This is Thursday. No, this is Wednesday night at 11 o'clock p.m. This went down 6 millibars, which means it's strengthening out in the Atlantic and it's approaching the Lesser Antilles, which is right here. Will it stay north? Will it hit the Lesser Antilles? As we continue this forward, so it goes down to 990. Now it's 989. I know it's hard to see from your screen, but I'm going to read it off. That's 987, 989, and then between that, so between 15Z and 18Z on Thursday, this goes down 7 millibars to a 982. The next few frames may be a little disturbing, but again, this is not a forecast. That goes down to 981. Now, this is Thursday, 8 p.m. This went down 6 more millibars. So now it's a 976 millibar hurricane. That could be a Category 2 borderline major hurricane at this point. Heading west. Your Lesser Antilles is right here. And then it kind of bends back. And then Puerto Rico's right here. Hispaniola's here. That's Cuba here. Okay. So will this stay north of the Lesser Antilles? as we continue forward. It continues to drop. Now, we'll stop it here. This is Friday morning at 2 a.m. This went down. Good Lord, my hours of another 7 millibars. It is now a 968 major hurricane at this point, approaching the northern Lesser Antilles. This is Friday at 2 a.m. Again, this is not a forecast. So as we continue through Friday, now we'll stop it here. So now it's a 968 hurricane just north of the Lesser Antilles, which I am drawing right now. It is riding to the north. Will continue to stay north. We'll go through till Saturday at 8 p.m. So that's Friday at 8 p.m. Okay. It is now down to a 967. As we continue this forward, we'll stop it here. This is 5 a.m. Saturday morning. You have a 965 millibar hurricane north of the Lesser Antilles. That's 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Next Saturday.
Okay. This is the thing that was ruined in the Gulf?
No.
Oh, something new.
This is gonna be a G name.
Okay.
This one back here. Now you got another tropical storm on its heels. That'll pretty much get an H name.
Pick it up.
As we continue this forward, that's concerning. Okay, so we want to go to that is where I wanted to go to. We will end the model run here. That's a 965 hurricane, a major hurricane, north of Puerto Rico. 5 p.m. Next Saturday afternoon. Again, not a forecast. This will be a G name. There is a tropical storm possibly behind it. That will be an H name. And I will be gone because that would have been made and then died out in the Atlantic. So that is your tropical outlook. for the next week. I thank you all for watching this evening. As this gets closer, I will be doing more updates um, on shorts and videos. So keep tuning into that. I will be posting shorts about the um, pos- the tropical storm hurricane possibility in the Gulf of Mexico this week. Um, so keep a lookout for those. I thank you all for watching this evening. I hope you have the enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you again soon.